Hi, this is Dan Edelman from Borealis Games. You may know me from such videos as Help, I'm Trapped Under an Ogre, and Top 10 Recipes for Leftover Unicorn Meat. In Mages of Mystralia, you play as a young mage who has just discovered that she has innate magic abilities. You go off on a quest to learn the ways of magic and design your own spells to solve environmental puzzles and fight enemies. As you play through Mages of Mystralia, you will uncover runes that can be combined in different ways to create and modify your spells. In the last video, I showed you how to create a simple fireball, one of the most basic and widely used spells in a mage's arsenal. Now I'm going to show you how to spice things up a bit to give your fireball a little more oomph and how you can craft spells to solve environmental puzzles in the game. Here in the spell creation tool, you can see that we have a few new runes to play around with. As you can see, the runes are divided into 3 categories: behavior runes, augments, and triggers. I'll talk more about triggers in the next video. The move rune we used last time is a behavior rune, since it changes the behavior of what the spell does. You can add multiple behaviors that stack. Let's see what the duplicate rune does. As you might expect, it creates duplicates of the fireball, so now instead of just 1 fireball, you have 3. 3 is always better than 1, but as you can see, the more complex the spell, the more mana it costs, so there's always a trade-off. So far we've been focusing on the Actus spell, which is used for making orbs and projectiles, but many of the same runes we've collected can be used in other spell categories. In the last video, I briefly showed each of the 4 spell categories. Let's go into Ego, which is the category for spells that you cast on yourself. As you may recall, without any runes attached, it serves as a shield. But if we add the move rune, it becomes a quick dash, so we can escape quickly. Likewise, I can add the same duplicate rune we were using before. When I add it to the Ego spell, it does something very different. Since Ego is the category for spells you cast on yourself, the duplicate rune will duplicate Zia herself. By combining move and duplicate, I can escape from danger and leave behind a decoy for my enemies to attack. Let's go back to the Actus spell and take a look at the right augment. Augments are runes that don't actually change the behavior of the spell. Instead, they modify the runes they're attached to. As a result, depending on where you attach the augment, the effect will be very different. For example, if I attach the right augment to the core spell, it shoots out from my right. But if I attach the right augment to the move rune, it's the movement that's modified, so now it moves to the right. This can come in very handy in a situation where you want to hit a target, but you don't have a direct line of sight. And if I attach it to the duplicate rune, the fireballs duplicate out to the right, which can be helpful if I want to cover a wide area. If I attach both a left and right augment to the same rune, the effects cancel each other out, but I can tweak exactly what I want my spell to do by modifying different behaviors in different ways. Depending on the situation, you'll need to think carefully about exactly what kind of spell you'll need and how you can create it. As you collect more and more runes throughout the game, the possibilities are virtually limitless. In the next video, I'll show you how you can use the trigger runes to combine multiple spells together so they form something greater than the sum of their parts. And stay tuned for the full game when Mages of Mystralia comes to Steam and PS4 this spring.
So, tell me, what spells will you create?